Mr. Coffee. What's going
Good,
on?
man. What's good with you?
Hey, we got Chef O'Shay in the building, man. What's going on? You sipping on
Yeah, I got a
anything?
little, my little. I don't really, drink because it be messing with me. So I drink a little vitamin water. I like.
A little vitamin water? Okay.
I get some of that Noble Promise, some of them juices. Water that keeps me on my toes.
You know the vibes. I got a little wine right
Thanks.
here. Had a long
Yeah,
day. Just sipping, man. What's going on with
yeah.
you,
You know
man?
what? It's good. Everything's been good. It's been a wild ride, man. It's a crazy ride, man. It's you already know. So this has been crazy, man. There's a lot going on. It's a lot of moving parts.
Man, you don't have any orange soda in the
Nah,
background?
you know what? I was for real, I was going to be drinking some of that earlier. I was like, yeah, but I did have some of that earlier.
Man, well, I just want to say thank you so much for being on the show, man. You know what I mean? I really appreciate it. And I really want to, the reason why I wanted to have this show and invite you on is because, people see us on the
Right.
show, they see us what we cooking, but they don't know anything about us,
Right.
They don't know where we come from, how we start cooking. They don't know what we was doing before, what are we trying to do after, none of that. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So I just want to give a platform to people, you know what I mean? Talented people, everybody really, to talk about them and who they are, man. So, yo, Chef O'Shay, introduce
All right.
yourself, man. Tell us where you from, man. What's going on?
Chef O'Shay Lolley. I'm known as Chef O.
Uh huh.
I'm from actually Delaware.
So you from
Delaware,
Delaware?
yeah, man. Wilmington, Delaware, man.
Okay, is that a small place? That's a big place. What?
It's a small place, but it's big because Wilmington, Delaware is like downtown, where all the money comes through, all our business, all of our downtown buildings. It's like a major, it's a financial hub. So even though it's a small state, like they do a lot of big things through Delaware. We still know a lot of people find their business through Delaware because we don't have taxes. So, you see a lot of people credit cards, a lot of credit card banks here, like some of the bigger banks like Chase and things like that. Downtown. So it's pretty much popping. It's just small, but we got everything going on. We got everything here, man. You know,
What kind of food do people be cooking in Delaware?
you know what? Pretty much everything. But it's a lot of soul food spots in Delaware and a lot of Chinese spots. You know what I mean? Downtown. I mean, you pretty much got everything, but the majority is like soul food,
Hmm.
Chinese, and like sub shop. That's pretty much it.
And what would you say is the food that you like to cook?
My thing, I like Jamaican. I do Caribbean Jamaican, jerk chicken, curry chicken, things like that.
Okay.
That's kind of what I started doing. My aunt actually married a Jamaican guy, and he was showing me at a young age. He was showing me how to make, jerk chicken and roti and all these authentic things. And he just around the house cooking it, and he just showed me. I kind of picked it up. So, so every time I make it for people, they're like, "Oh, this is good. This is authentic, man. This tastes like I don't know what it is about New York." But this tastes like New York, the Jamaican food. Because the
That's
Jamaican food in
funny.
Delaware is like, but it's that when you go to New York, the Jamaican food is a whole nother level. So that's just like New
Right.
York Jamaican food. So
I bet that house was smelling good growing up, brother.
absolutely, I would go over there, man. It was just always the smells, and scallions and green onions, all kind of stuff. He would just be, man,
Hold up. So now is that how you started cooking? Was like you had like just smelling those aromas? Like how did you get in the
man,
kitchen?
really, I just like to eat. I was young kid, like to eat, and my mom would cook something, and it would be kind of good. Well, not kind of good, it would be good.
Uh-huh.
Can't say kind of, mom, but it's good, and I'm trying to recreate it the next day. Recreate, trying to make my own spin on it. She would make something, and I just began to go in the kitchen, and that was kind of my love for things and my passion. I would go in there and just make my own kind of stuff up, make my own little recipes, cook this,
Hmm.
fried peanut butter and jelly, all that stuff. Like years ago, I was doing that, like stuff that even people are doing now. I was doing that like 12 years old. Like,
So how did you get from, putting your own twist, you're in Delaware, you're cooking soul food Caribbean, you're putting your own twist on stuff, and then now you're on Hell's
right.
Kitchen with Gordon Ramsay. Like how do we get there? How did that
And
happen?
so, I started. I'm a musician. So yeah, I'm a
What?
musician. I'm a Yeah,
Okay.
I started musician, as a child prodigy. So, age 9, 10 o'clock, not 9, 10, I'm on an organ at church, like playing in the black church, like on an organ, playing the piano.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought that's what I would be doing. I got older and I started doing music. It was the guy, his name was Darkchild, Riley Jerkins, that friend of mine. He's done Destiny Child, a bunch of other people. So he was like, "Hey man, come up to the studio, let's do some things." So I would send him music, and I would do like tracks for like local producers and local artists and rap groups, and that's really what I thought I was going to be doing. And somewhere between that and getting older, I said, you know what? I started doing this cooking thing. I tried to get a job at a hotel, and he was like, "Well, you don't have enough experience." Da, 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 da. So I ended up getting an opportunity where I was able to get a scholarship and go to the Art Institute of Philadelphia. And I took up culinary science. So Bachelor of Culinary Science, Bachelor of Modern Culinary Arts, and then I did an associate in business administration. So I was like, I got the qualification. I started doing it. Ended up being an executive chef at a hotel, and shared the hotel. Had a staff of about 25. Ended up doing that and working in the whole banquet scene. And I just started doing it. I really saw how much money the hotel was making. I was like, you know what? I can do this on my own. I can do this. I can make my own money. So I ended up quitting the job and starting a catering company. Started a catering company. And this is about 2004, 2007. My mom was doing it, but she's getting older. So she was old school. So she was doing like baked chicken and, people just want something to eat. Baked chicken, meatballs, stuff like that. And I got older. I kind of took over from her and started doing it myself. Started doing my own little events, and I went from being like absolutely frantic to doing like one event. I would be spazzing. Like, oh my God, I got a cater this weekend. Like, I'm tripping. Like, for one event, and it's probably like,
I get it.
now I'm doing like I'm doing 5 events in one day. Like, not even worried about it. Like, not even sleeping. Like, oh, I do it tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So started doing that. I actually started a restaurant. I launched a restaurant in 2016. It was a soul food restaurant. It was different. It was all kind of weird things. That's where the orange soda greens came from. Because I had like barbecue potato salad. I had fried banana pudding, potatoes, fried chicken and dumplings, like all kind of weird stuff that I came up with. Peanut butter and jelly chicken wings, Captain Crunch chicken wings, pineapple upside down chicken wings, Hennessy barbecue chicken wings. So the orange soda was a big hit.
Where does this? It seems creative. Like, where does this creative side of you come from? You think, like, you know what I
Do
mean?
something different. Like, we had like a lot of soul food going on. I was like, you know what? Everybody's doing the same thing. It's not consistent. So we need somebody that can, do a soul food restaurant here that can be consistent in something different. So I put that together. It was called Twisted Soul. So I started the restaurant, launched it, got with some partners. I had to resolve the partnership only because, when you get with partners, make sure everyone's on the same page. So without saying too much about what's going on, because, I don't like to go back into it. But, we were all on the same page. And, we all had different ideas. We all wanted to do this, wanted to do it. But I was the chef. I was the creator. So it's like, you know what, let's just, agree to disagree. So I stopped that, right? Still kept doing the private catering. Started another restaurant, a soul food restaurant called 7. I love the number 7. The address was, I think the address was 1204. My house address was 106. The address to the restaurant was 1204, and it was something else that kept being 7. So I said, you know what, let's call it 7. 7 Soul Grill. I did that. It was great. The demographic wasn't for the area. It just wasn't the demographic. People, you got to make sure you know the people for that area. So I did a relaunch. I said, you know what, I got it. 7 burgers, wings, and fries now. All kind of different burgers, truffle fries, sweet potato fries, with bacon, all kind of just. I had this thing called glitter fries. I had a dream, so I called it glitter fries. So it was like a mascarpone and like cinnamon and a caramel drizzle with what's it called? Edible sugar. It looked like glitter, like something different. Did that. So we were supposed to open March 30th, 2020. The state got shut down on the 16th because of COVID. Yeah, so we got shut down, and we just never came back. I had a fully staffed restaurant, fully stocked restaurant, ready to go, out of pocket from the muscle. Like I said, the first situation was partners, and we didn't You know, so this one was from the muscle. I'm ready. We about to get it. Amazon is building across the street. We about to get this money. We got to get the bag. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, state shut down, and we all in quarantine. So all of my product I ended up giving to families. Like, I had burgers and stuff in the freezer. Gave that to families. My product I gave to local restaurants, like the big, jars of mustard, the tin cans, the, like, peppers and stuff. All that stuff. The big tin cans. So gave them away. And I said, you know what? I'm going to do the private catering. I was making so much money doing the private catering where I would go to people's houses and turn it into a restaurant, Okay, I'm getting to Hell's Kitchen. So it was like, man, it was like 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm on Facebook and I see something about Hell's Kitchen. Matter of fact, it's a friend of mine, a chef from Philly, that went on it. And I think he posted the like the flyer for it. He had one on there. His name is Kenneth McDuffie. He went on one. That's his name. So I was like, cool. All right, let me try this. I never really thought about it. I wasn't opposed to it. I said, let me just see if I can get on there. I applied, sent the video in. You know the process. Video, pictures. I'm like, okay. I never even thought about it. I totally forgot about it. And then they just all of a sudden hit me up. Everything had to go through to get on there. So even that is just, that's the honor in itself, just to be able to get selected. So when she was telling me, people get selected, so many people that, and it almost, you feel like sometimes you got to count your blessings because, me and you were on this show, but it's some people, that's their dream. Like some people, they're every day, I want to get on this show. Some people, they literally are waiting to get on this show. So you're looking at a person, I don't know where your head was. For me, I wasn't waiting to get on it, but it still was an honor to be able to be on it. So I didn't take offense. So now I'm here. I'm like, man, okay, she ain't gonna call me back. The lady not gonna call me. She said she was gonna call me, and I think it was like March 2021, right? I think because the process. And then whatever, I didn't hear back from her till like December 2021. She's like, we'll let you know. I was like, all right. And then I was asleep. I was out of town, and my phone, somebody called my phone. And I didn't answer because I didn't recognize the number. Text message, she's totally spoiled a surprise. She's like, I have great news. Give me a call in the morning. And Lori, whatever. I'm like, she just spoiled a surprise. I waited all this time. Call me ASAP. I would be like, okay, what's happening?
What's going on?
So I knew I got on, and I called her the next day. She was like, guess what? I was like, I made it. She was like, yeah, oh my God. She was like almost crying. Oh my God, it's awesome. I'm like, okay. Okay. So to be able to get to that point and you see this, it's like, it's surreal. You know what I'm saying? You watch the show TV, and to get to really, your face to face with Gordon Ramsay, it's like,
it's a crazy journey, man. And I think, man, to hear your story and to hear about the journey, it's inspiring because during COVID, it's a lot of places shut down. It was hard for everyone, you know what I mean? And for you to even go through the process of opening a restaurant, being on different channels with someone, pages, and then still saying, I'm gonna do it. That takes a lot of work.
It was a lot of work.
You know what I mean? That's a lot of work. That's an accomplishment before the other accomplishment. Right. Get on Hell's Kitchen. You know what I'm saying? Like to be able to open up a spot and to, you know what I mean? It's a lot of work. It's not easy task. You know what I mean? To put up your own bread. Like what would you say to young chefs, whether they look like us, whoever? What would you say to them about wanting to be a chef or wanting to chase their dreams, or what happens when obstacles come in the way? What would you say to them?
You know what? I would just say keep going. Like, I mean, you gotta really question if you want to do it or not. And if you want to do anything, it's a saying that if you really want to do something, you're going to do it anyway. So if you really want to do it, you got to be committed to it. I mean, you gotta stay with it. I mean, it's never going to be easy. I mean, just the passion. You got that passion, that's what drives you. But when you get to the point where you don't have that passion no more, you got to question if you really want to do it or not.
What drives you?
O'Shay? Honestly, people, when I see how they receive it. Because, I'll do events and I'm pissed off. Like, oh, man, why did I take this event? I'm cooking 300 people, whatever. And I'm up all night cooking and we were prepping. And that one moment when the lady says, you know what, the food was amazing. Or we enjoyed it. Or the wedding was a success. I forget about all the hard work. I forget about that. I just cut 50 pounds of red potatoes and, You get that blister right here. You know, when you, I'm like, man, I forget all about it. Just when people receive the food and they say, you know what, it was good, it was amazing, I enjoyed it. And, you know, this is a special moment for them. So it's just a wedding, or whatever, funeral, or whatever type of event you're making food for, and people just thank you. I enjoyed it. I forget all about it. So that's
It makes it all worth it.
worth it. 100%, man.
That's what it's about. So now, you know, we gotta ask you about these orange collard greens. It's the talk of the town, O'Shay. It's the talk of the town. How did you've been creative? You've been trying different things. You got the passion. How do we come up with orange soda and collard greens?
Well, a few years ago, this is like, man, 2004. 2003, it was an old lady cooking. She's like, you know, I put a can of Coke in my greens because it cuts down on like bitterness or something like that. So I'm like, cool. It was a local restaurant in Philly. I got to give props to in Philly. It was called Miss Tootsie. I think the owner died. But South Philly, everybody knew about a restaurant called Miss Tootsie Soul Food. And I would notice that they had a little bit of a sweetness to their greens. And I think we put another. So one day I was cooking and I had orange soda. I said, you know what? Well, the lady did say something about putting soda in her greens. Let me kind of try and see what's going on. And I wanted to, so I just put it in there, and I probably put too much more. I put too much dinner. I was like, you know what? It works with smoked turkey and everything that I put in there. So it actually works. So I kind of started perfecting it. So I'm like, so when I first started doing it, we would have literally, this is weird. We started selling what's called dinner. So we was, people buy it out of the crib. We selling dinner from the styrofoam box. So I was selling it because I had my stash with me. I always had a stash. And we would have orange soda in the water gun. So, so of course I cooked them with orange soda, but we would put more orange soda in the water gun. So when we got them greens plated, I'm like, shoot the greens. So we were always, this is weird. We would shoot the greens with the orange soda. People absolutely loved it. Like, man, like, it just caught on, and people kept saying, I'm gonna taste these greens. I know it's gonna be nasty. And everybody that was skeptical about them, everybody that was like always saying something about them, they were the main ones coming back ordering them. So I was like, we got something. So man, I just kept perfecting it. So I got it to a science. Like, man, people really love these greens. Like, I don't know where the idea came from. Very like in my mind, I know what the lady told me about, but it was like something was like, I'm gonna try. And sometimes God to give us weird ideas. They give us things that or people have created. So when I created that, it just worked, and it's still working, man. People are still reaching out to me. People are trying to see if they can figure the recipe out, and they can.
I put for me, I put coconut milk in my greens, which is a little bit different, and it works out. People are like, oh, I didn't think this would work out, but for me, I think curiosity is really important. You know what I mean? For you to be curious, and that's what keeps our mind going, keeps us inspired. You know what I mean? To be creative and stuff like that. So, so obviously, one on the show, you gave Gordon these orange soda greens, and he liked the dish. Yeah. He liked the dish. He just took off some points for the orange soda. How did you feel in that moment?
You know what?
Were you like whatever? Like, how did you feel?
It wasn't a whatever. It was kind of like, you kind of always question yourself and see what you might have did wrong. Now, I'm the type of person, I don't make excuses. But I know one of the things in the house, you know how it is in Hell's Kitchen. So one, I think probably went over good with him. Remember how I used to shoot the greens? I told the story. I took a cup full of it and poured it on. And thinking also how stuff began to settle. So, it was so when it got to the point where I presented it, being those this was white, you saw the contrast. So the juice that was on the greens already settled. And so it just kind of, it didn't really work how I wanted it. So I think, and I agree with him, like, I should have really took the extra time out and make sure I had that juice off of there. But in that hustle and bustle, I'm just trying to get this thing done, man.
It's hard, yeah.
They gave us 45 minutes, and it seemed like 10 minutes.
Right. 100%, man. It flies, bro.
Yeah. So, it was an honor for him, and even just everything that he said, it was cool. I was like, okay, I receive it, I understand. Because it did look kind of weird, because I probably wouldn't have tasted it either with all of the.
Right.
I see what he's saying, but it's just one of those things you learn from it and you keep moving. But I was excited just for him to even just try the sandwich and try,
Try it. Yeah.
I mean, it's still an honor. I mean, I didn't get a one, so, so at least at least I didn't get one, bro. Like, look, listen.
There it is. There it is, man. O'Shay, I think my favorite thing about you, man, is like I feel like you just don't care about what anybody thinks or anybody says. You know what I'm saying? And in order to be successful in whatever you do, right? For anyone listening, I think you just can't care. You know what I'm saying? Like you might be getting backlash, you might get in here positive, negatives, whatever, but you're like, yo, listen, Fanta, pay me. You're like, yo, I don't care. Like, listen, this is what I want to do.
He definitely.
I love it. You know what I mean? Like, can you talk to us a little bit about the importance of not caring about what other people think? Like, do you think that's helped you in your career path? Helped you keep going? Because I feel like when you don't care, you just keep moving. You're not. You know what I mean? You just keep moving.
I think when you have that, when you go with my grandma, I'm a restaurant, so my great grandmother, she used to always say, always do what you're going to do first. And even in life, I use like you made a decision to do something first, and then you do something different after the deal I was going to do first. So that's kind of the same thing when you have an idea and you're trying to do something, you let somebody talk you out of it, or because I else is saying something, well, I'm going to do this now because that's not. No, always keep focused. Like, always do what you was originally going to do. Like, I don't let people say things. The same people that said things are the ones that come back later and say, oh my God, that's cool. So all these people that I had, it was always people saying something about it. Like one lady said, okay, you got orange soda greens, so you're going to give us diabetes in the greens. And I kind of laughed at her. I was like, well, it's not for everybody. I didn't change my recipe. But, you got to go for it, man. If you got an idea, you want to be innovative, you want to step outside the box, you got to listen to your heart, man. You got to listen to the passion and moving. Because those are the same people, when it does work, and now they want to be on the bandwagon now, but they were the first people saying, nah, don't do it. I don't know why Sakari's doing it. I don't know what's wrong with him. But as soon as everything pop off, now everybody's on your back trying to get that bag with you. So, I mean, I just keep moving, man. I don't let nobody tell me what to do.
I love it, bro.
If I feel like I want to do it, I'll just do it.
I love it, bro. Don't ever change that. I don't think you should, like, you know what I mean? I don't think anyone, you just can't care, man. So, man, I saw the when you was on the news with Zeus and, she tasted the greens and she liked, you know what I mean? It was cool, man. It's cool to see you, you know what I mean? And I hope and pray Fanta's watching. You know what I'm saying? I wish I had a bottle of orange soda right here. I'll put it in the screen. You know what I mean? And just keep grinding, keep doing your thing. What's next for O'Shay? What's next for you, brother? I see you cooking for celebrities now. What's going on?
Well, I've been blessed to be able to cook for a bunch of celebrities. Some of them I don't post, but lately I've been doing. It's been an influx of different referrals. Recently I did Meek Mill. I did a guy Moneybag Yo. You know what? Respectfully, I didn't even know who this guy was because I wouldn't listen to certain music. So it wasn't that I was out of the loop, but all of my daughters knew, people knew. So I'm like, okay. And his team loved the orange soda greens. So work with him. There's a young guy named Narwick, DJ Flow, Johnny Gill from the group New Edition, the older guy.
I know Johnny Gill, yeah.
Fox, Debbie Morgan, the mother from Power, the mother on Power. There's a couple people, man. Of course, President Biden before he was the president, but I was always doing stuff with him. But it's just, I had an opportunity to do a lot of stuff with celebrities. I know you from New York. I don't know if you know about the gospel scene. It's a gospel singer called Hezekiah Walker from New York. Okay. He's big in New York for gospel. So, cook for him. It's another R&B singer named K-E-M. This stuff with them. It's a lot of people. Mr. Brown from Tyler Perry. David Mann.
Okay. Yeah, Mr. Brown. I know
It's
Mr.
a couple
Brown.
people that
Come
I just
on.
had the opportunity to just, do either fly out or just to meet, or I'm at I get called, maybe they're doing a show and they hire me to do all the, do cater to them, personally go to the hotel, whatever. So now I'm actually coming up with a tour. I'm actually doing I'm doing kind of like what you're doing. It's kind of a series of pop-ups.
Okay.
I decided to take it a step further because I've been to a lot of pop-ups. And sometimes when you go there, it just depends on where you are. You're only basically stuck to how the room looks. So you can only do so much. You can only take it how far. So I decided to take my music side, with the music and the jazz, and create a show. So basically, they'll get like a 7-course meal. They'll get the meal, you get the jazz, you'll get the ambiance, and it'll look like a restaurant. But the diagram that we're setting up, it's like when you take a circus out of town. So whenever you set the space up, inside the space, it'll look like a restaurant. So basically, inside that space, we could be in any space. You won't know what space we're in because we'll be enclosed with our curtains and our things. It'll be a full-fledged pop-up restaurant that we'll just take. Right now I'm on the East Coast, so we're gonna go to DC, we'll go to Baltimore, Virginia, New York, Connecticut, places like that. And so that's kind of what I'm working on. I've tried the restaurant thing. It was cool, but right now pop-ups are kind of where they are. People are kind of excited about that. So I basically have a dream. I know a couple people are doing this. A couple people are doing this right now. What I'm trying to do. But I have a dream to be like, a black man to take his restaurant and to go all over the world with it. Just like we set it up, and they can go on the internet and they can go on our website and get RSVP, get the tickets to what we're trying to do. Come out, enjoy the meal, see, whatever.
It's an experience.
And that's crazy that you say that, because that's what it's called. It's called Chef O's Experience. And more so than just eating, it's basically I'm creating a night out. Because it's jazz, it's music. So it's not really about the food. Of course, the food is going to be.
It's everything.
Part. But just a moment to go out and just be inspired and love. It might be a spoken word. It might be whatever. It's just a night of just good things happening and just good energy. So that's
it's a night to remember. It's a night to remember.
Exactly. So that's what I'm working on right now as we speak.
One thing you said stood out to me, which was I have a dream, and obviously we know Martin Luther King, but like when you said I have a dream, that really stood out to me, man. How important it is to dream?
I think you need to dream because sometimes you have to have something that pushes you. It's okay, basically, as a caterer or chef, it's always something else. So right now, I got a list of Christmas parties for December. When December's over, it's gonna be something else. Or we've got a little downtime now, prom season, wedding season. So it's always the next thing. So I believe when you dream, it gives you something to look forward to, something to work on. It's always something. Life is full of moments that we're working. We just did Hell's Kitchen. Okay, what's next? Okay, you want to do something else? Okay, now we did that. We conquered that. We want to do this. So to have a dream that keeps you focused, keeps you driven. As long as you're consistent, you can attain that dream. I believe it. But if you set your goal, but if you were inconsistency, you'll never make it. So it's very important to if you have a dream, keep going and don't let anyone tell you can't happen. The only one that's in the way is you. But like I said, you stay consistent, you stay diligent, and you keep focused, man, and you can accomplish anything. I believe.
That's right. That's right, man. That's right, man. So my brand, Noble Promise, for me, it's helped me get to where I'm at, being consistent and stuff like that. It's actually my name in Swahili, and it means you have a promise to the future and that you keep to your word. Yeah, man. And for me, like what it means is just like living with honor, right? Like just keeping to your word, just sticking to your guns, just keep going, man. What does living with honor for you mean? What does that mean to you? Like living with honor, keeping to your word, like is that something that you believe in? Like how for closing remarks, how do you feel about that?
I absolutely believe it. I believe in integrity. I believe in honesty, and I tell my other chefs and people that I work with. I had the opportunity to talk to it was like a what was it? It's like a school program for like students, And the first thing I talked to him about integrity and respecting the place. Like always as a chef, you'll be in the kitchen, you'll see some. Never have I, just put my hands in something and start, eating it or just start mixing. I never lost that respect for the place. With integrity, like, how would someone preparing your food? How would you want someone making something for you? I even went as far as like I tell my family. Well, I've had many arguments about this. Like sometimes I cater from my house, and I'm in full chef code. I'm in full non-slip. I'm in there with my wife. We just tasting and put my hands and stuff. I'm literally wearing gloves and what, you know what I'm saying? Because there's a respect thing, and that's also integrity. So they say, well, they don't know, but you know. They don't know, but yeah, you know. Like what people can't see you. It's not when people can see you. Integrity is when people can't see you. You know what I'm saying? It's when they can't see you. I mean, I could work for you, Sakari, and when you show up, I'm working for you. I'm always cleaning up when you're around, pick the paper off the floor because you're there. What am I doing when you're not there? That's the integrity. When you're not there. So it's always important to just have that passion to respect the plate and be integral. I always teach that to people. Everybody that works with me know, like, don't be dipping in the food. Don't be, if you're going to put a spoon and wash the spoon off, don't be, people don't want you eating out of the food like that. How would you want someone preparing your food? So that goes with what you're saying, just being noble, being honest. And so I live by that, man. I don't play. I stand by that.
Respect, brother. O'Shay, where can people find you, man? How can they support you? Where can people find you?
They can find me at actually two places. The first place is Chef O'Shay Lolley. I'm sorry, my mind's all over the place. Chef O'Shay Lolley at Instagram. So Chef O'Shay Lolley. So OSHAY LOLLEY. In about 2 weeks, they can find me online at Chef O. That's Chef and then the letter O. Experience.com. So Chef O Experience.com. And that'll be my website. You can see what I'm doing, what I'm going on. See free recipes on there. But right now, you can find me on Instagram and Facebook.
Yep. I love it, man. We're rooting for you, bro. I'm rooting for you, man. You know what I'm saying? I love to see people try to do good, creative things, and you know what I'm saying? So I'm rooting for you, brother. I'm in your corner. Hit me up anytime, man. And I hope this platform, I hope someone was inspired from today. I hope someone, reaches out and just learns about someone that's doing some cool stuff, man. So that's what this is all about, man. So much love to you, Chef O. Man, keep grinding. Don't ever stop.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? And keep putting orange soda in those greens, my brother. Let's go. All right, man. Chef. Peace and love, man. Peace and love. So, yes, sir.
One.
Sipping with Sakari.